Hello and welcome back to Bloodborne Part 8. In the last part, we had taken out two hunters that were guarding Old Yarnum from the new hunters. We found some unique clothing and now we are delving deeper into the valley, the abyss of Old Yarnum.
Dead ghoul.
Oh look, there's a duel should be dead. Yeah.
And now he is dead. Alright, so I noticed that although these areas are somewhat densely packed with enemies, they don't seem to be as densely packed as the very least Dark Souls 1 was. Would you see that that is a recurring theme throughout the game?
It depends if they want to try to trip you up, they usually throw a whole horde of enemies at you at once, kind of like, oh, are we going into Congregation Town? Oh, we're going to say hello to mysterious stranger. Hello.
Who is lagging out on your end?
That guy's actually ringing the bell right now. He had the little halo around his feet that was like vibrating.
Lots of ravens.
So one one simple way, one simple like decision making process, especially for finding items and exploring. If there are enemies nearby, they're probably guarding something.
That makes sense.
Like that goodie over there. Let's grab it. Let's grab it from this poor fellow on the ledge. He won't be needing this anymore.
A bloodstone shard. So, do you off-screen all of your future upgrades?
Do I off-screen the upgrades?
Yeah.
Uh, I mean, off-screen. Oh, did I already max them out? Did I already max out my health? I already maxed out my health, huh? Let's just say that I do the upgrades so fast that I don't care whether or not people can like understand that they're happening, but just that for the purposes of me playing the game and me showing how I would do it, because I've upgraded weapons many times, I just blow through it on the menus when they arrive.
Alright.
Upgrading eventually gets slowed down when it gets to level 3, because then you need to get twin bloodstone shards, and twin bloodstone shards aren't for a little while.
I find it kind of stupid that you can't actually refine bloodstone shards into twins.
The reason why they don't let you do that is because they do give you an abundance of bloodstone shards in order to at least get your preliminary upgrades, especially so you're not just upgrading your melee weapon, you're also upgrading your gun, and you could also be upgrading a secondary weapon.
Right.
But if you know where the twin bloodstone shards are, you can at least get to +4 before you have to advance really far in the game.
Okay.
Which is nice.
Now you said that this place was that old Yarnum was burned down to the ground, but honestly, most of the buildings here are still intact.
Yeah, the stonework is intact. There are lit lampposts, I guess, but like there are none of the like more humanoid Yarnamites that we saw in Central Yarnum. Those people were more recently infected with the scourge than these guys. This is more like this is what Central Yarnum is going to become, is just a smoky, barren, wasteland devoid of human life.
And littered with crying statues. Now,
And
game, that was not very nice.
no, it wasn't. Come here, doggy. I'm gonna teach you the meaning of respect.
By viscering your throat out.
This, we were talking about grind spots in an earlier part. This is a big grind spot for me. There are maybe about 7 or 8 werewolves on this floor. And once you get the shortcut and you get a lamppost that gives you convenient access to this area, what I used to do a lot was kill each of the werewolves. They're worth about 1,000 points apiece. Use a bold hunter's mark to reload the lamppost, and then do it all over again.
Okay. So, are you ever gonna actually need to use the antidotes that you're picking up?
Yes, yes, you do. For the boss fight coming up, absolutely. You do need antidotes.
All right.
Your resistance to poison determines how much damage you receive from a poison status. As your level goes up, normally your resistance to poison goes up because resistance to poison is tied to your endurance.
Okay.
Early
Ooh,
game,
fire paper.
early game, you can die of poison in as little and in as few as like 20 to 25 seconds if you have a full bar of health. Yes, we've unlocked a shortcut. How important
Okay,
it
then.
is. That shortcut will allow us to access this lower portion of Old Yarnum directly from the lamppost that we found before we found the door with the note on it saying Hunter's not welcome here.
Okay. That is a harpy.
I see you.
Also, yes, I see the werewolf, but I also see the harpy. Why isn't the harpy attacking us?
Well, where's the harpy?
The corpse that is hanging upside down, that's supposed to be a harpy.
That harpy is dead. He is no longer a threat. Spooky, scary werewolf.
Almost 1,000 experience.
Yes, it's more like
Blood
1,000.
goes, sorry.
1,000 minus 13 is that. So it's basically 1,000. Hey. Hey.
That is a white. No, that is not. That's just another ghoul.
Poison
It's supposed
ghouls.
to be a white.
Yes, we have delved deep into the bowels, and now we have reached the bacteria-ridden digestive tract of Old Yarnum. These enemies all inflict poison because they can't believe we haven't heard the latest single from Five Finger Death Punch. Come on, you can use the forecast better than that.
Ouch.
Stick.
So, can you use this? Can you use the saw cleaver to chop down any of the trees in Old Yarnum?
No, you cannot. The trees are mostly inert. I'm trying to think if there are any trees. What am I looking at?
Well,
the statues?
there are definitely trees. I mean, this statue is perched in front of a tree.
Here, would you like some bark? We have plenty here. Yay.
That is a terrible conviction emote.
Disney World, yay.
Ooh, 10 Quicksilver bullets.
They probably assumed that you used up all your Quicksilver on the werewolves coming down here.
A ghoul.
Must go Blobby. Blobby must die. Blobby's dead.
Oh, it's a blobby, not a ghoul. My bad.
Yeah, notice that Blobbies, they only give you like 10 experience points apiece, but it's not the experience you want from them, it's the upgrade materials.
Right.
Ah, that place looks important.
This place looks like it used to be a cemetery before it got set on fire. Hold it. There's an actual music piece being threatened to be played here.
It could just be that your sensory deprivation is starting to create sounds that aren't actually there.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
Oh, damn it.
That's what this game does, and that's what I think, that's part of the brilliance of it, is there is so little to go on that your mind, because it's maybe bored or maybe just it demands a reason, it will actually start to create things with your imagination. You know.
Using visual cues in order to make false audio.
Or not knowing that these guys are trying to hide from me. Being all sneaky.
Visceral.
Sneakers get squeakers.
I certainly hope not. Squeakers is like a rather important world building toy in Toy Story 2.
World building toy.
Hey, you could summon Alfred.
We can do this together.
Oh, you're actually choosing to summon the Alfred.
Hunter is never alone. Welcome to the cooperator system in Bloodborne.
Oh, vile blood hunter.
Hello, my good friend. It is good to see you again now that we are cooperating. Ah, surely there's nothing dangerous going on here.
It looks like it's pretty dangerous. Honestly, this looks a lot like the Dancer of the Veils room. Blood-starved beast. So shouldn't this guy be really easy to take down then?
Not exactly.
I know he's not going to be really easy to take down because it's a boss. But the thing is, he's blood-starved. So shouldn't he be like emancipated and wayfish?
It's, well, there's... It reminds me of that trope where, like, in like, gladiator stories, or even, like, Life of Pi, like, a starving tiger is even more dangerous than a well-fed tiger.
Yeah, but that's out of desperation.
Yes.
Here's the thing: the Bloodstarved beast very clearly isn't that desperate. He's sitting in an altar. There are ghouls around that he could feast upon.
He could, but he's just so angry. Frustrated.
If he's that angry, wouldn't he be feasting on ghouls by now?
Well, I think you just answered your own question, Gerda. There are no ghouls in the room, so he must have ate them all.
But there are no ghoul corpses. I mean, it's likely that he would have ate those, but there are ghouls outside. He'd likely be able to hear them.
He's too lazy. In fact, he would much rather feast on my NPC friend.
Oh, Alfred. Oh, that's right. Alfred is the NPC.
Oh, that's all right. We will find human cooperators later, just not right now. It's the game equips you well enough with the NPC hunters to just do your thing without having to rely on the community. That's for later. Yeah, the blood.
So does he actually have 4 arms? Is that what's going on?
No, he's on all fours. Hey, I actually staggered him.
Yeah, but he actually has this fleshlight cape that he keeps trying to smack you with.
I'm not sure if that is a cape or like his flayed flesh. I think it's I want to say it's his flayed flesh.
Why is his flesh flayed?
Because he's hungry, he's starving, and part of that is probably
So-
because he's been bleeding.
Well, so what? He tried to eat his own flesh?
You know, that's a thing I haven't thought of, but you're probably right. He probably tried eating himself because he was so hungry. Yeah, the biggest thing with the Bloodstarved beast is just getting used to him. Once you get used to him, he's really not that big of a threat. Because as you've seen, he hasn't hit me that many times. It's just when he does hit you, you might poop yourself a little bit because then you've been poisoned. Yes.
The Pethumaru Chalice. Okay.
We have unlocked the Chalice system at last by taking out an optional boss that leads to even more optional bosses that create opportunities to fight optional bosses.
Yo, dog, I heard you like optional bosses, so I decided to string them all together.
Yo, dog, I heard you like blood. I colored you pink with it. Now, let's see. Oh, what the hell am I putting a loading screen here? The Hunter's Dream actually loads in about 1/3 the time as the rest of the world. Huzzah. Oh, what did you die of, smartass?
Yeah. You can actually die in the Hunter's Dream?
Yeah, that was a thing that happened in the first part. Is you can there are weapons in the Chikage is that he's using the Chikage. So the point of that weapon is you can absorb your own life essence in order to create a very powerful attack.
Ah, so it's officially the Muramasa.
Yes, basically.
Or is it the Muramasa or is it the Masamune that was the Bloodstarved katana?
Masamune is the name of a. You threw me for a loop for a second. Masamune is the name of a smith in Nier Automata.
Well, of course it is, because Masamune gets referenced. Because Masamune is actually the smithy, the smithier of the blade that he's named after.
Yes. Let us hope that smiths will lead to good sales by naming themselves after blades, and in the next part, we will proceed into the world newly upgraded with more power.
And such.